and I need another notch on my belt. If you're looking for a six-pack, muscled up kind of man, better look somewhere else. Yeah, I could stand to lose a few pounds, but for right now, I'm working on my dad bod. Oh my God, ain't gotta be hungry to eat. Hot dog, it's a full-time job, living good when you're with me. I like a cold beer with my pizza. I like my tacos and tequila. You only live once, so I do what I want, and I want to keep working hard on my dad bod. Girl, what you need, I got it. Whatever kind of craving you have, you ain't gotta walk or look too far, 'cause baby, I'm your snack. Don't know if you heard, but you ain't the only one with curves. Yeah, I got a dad bod, oh my God, ain't gotta be hungry to eat. Hot dog, it's a full-time job, living good when you're with me. I like a cold beer with my pizza. I like my tacos and tequila. You only live once, so I do what I want, and I want to keep working hard on my dad bod. Well, if you want one, don't get jealous. Just come hang out with the fellas. We'll get you a dad bod. Oh my God, ain't gotta be hungry to eat. Hot dog, it's a full-time job, living good when you're with me. Yeah, I like a cold beer with my pizza. I like my tacos and tequila. You only live once, so I do what I want, and I want to keep working hard on my dad bod. On my dad bod,
Well, welcome to another episode here of Talking Sports. Dads with Bacon here. Troy filling in for Ben and Aaron. Aaron's little guy's under the weather, so hopefully he feels better. And Ben is at the Brewers game, and I don't know where we're at with that right now. It looks like we're 3-2, bottom of the sixth, and the Mets are currently up. Padres are up 5-1 in the third on the Braves. So I'm thinking we're going to have Charles join us here in a second. So I'm going to hold off for a little bit on getting into anything too in depth. What I would like to start with today is just two pretty big sports losses that we had. And the first one, obviously, is Charlie Hustle himself, Mr. Pete Rose, legend of the game, not in the Hall of Fame for gambling, and there's different viewpoints on how what he gambled on, I guess is what we could say. And I think now that he's gone, unfortunately, I think we will be at the point here where he will be put in the Hall of Fame, and Charles is actually jumping in now. So let me add him to the stage here, and we'll talk about Pete Rose. Charles, man, how you doing? Oh, we getting our earpiece in here. We getting our hearing aids in, and
okay, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No.
Oh man, okay. I wonder if I am mute. I'm not mute. You can't hear me? Any listeners out there, if you happen to be tuning in, let me know if you can hear me. Charles says he cannot hear me. I think I'm live. I don't have a mute button beside my name. I can hear you, Charles.
Say something.
Charles, check.
Okay. You're
You got me?
to my computer. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, so I am live. All right, so dealing with some minor technical difficulties. How about now, Charles? You got it?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. As long as you can hear me can you hear me on the computer?
Yeah, I'm trying to get my
Okay.
headset to work. Apparently it's not connected.
Okay. If you want me to throw you backstage and work on that, you can, or do you just want to roll with it? You got me?
All right.
Are the earphones working now? No.
Say something.
The earphones are still not working?
No, they're working.
Oh, they're working. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So the way we wanted to start this show off, I was saying we had two pretty big losses in the sports world this week. Number one was Mr. Charlie Hustle himself, Pete Rose. And I think now that he's gone, he will posthumously be put in the Hall of Fame. Opinions, thoughts, anything on Pete Rose you want to say, Charles?
It doesn't fucking matter if it happens after he's dead.
I agree.
It's bullshit. Look, you know what? I was probably gonna go off on this at the end of the show anyhow.
Okay.
But I'll just right now. Look, he should have been in the Hall of Fame. The man leads the MLB in hits and singles. The guy has played over more positions, a substantial amount of time than any other player.
Yep.
In baseball. Look, I get it. He wasn't character-wise, he wasn't the best person. But this is about a bunch of old-ass geezers that are still trying to hold on to their career as baseball writers, holding a grudge. Get over it. It should have already happened. And now that he's dead, it doesn't matter. He's not here to see it. It's a moot point.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean,
man, statistically, he should be in the Hall of Fame. And you look, if every time he bet on his team to win, then honestly, I don't care.
Yeah, what does it matter, right?
Exactly.
I mean, you're playing to win, so of course you want to win. Of course you know what I mean. Like, I mean, yeah. I get there's logistics, and you know, if it's true that he was only betting on his team to win, then yes, I do not see a big deal with it. But I can get where that might be a gray area. But for God's sakes, the guy's been on the blacklist how long now? I mean, come on.
Too long.
Yeah, I mean, let's get this over with. I mean, we got guys in the NFL that can beat their wives and miss 4 games. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah, seriously. Oh, we got dudes that, I mean, you know, karma kind of took care of things, but we got dudes that can wreck freaking cars into other people and just walk away. And you know, we'll wait till the end of the season to deal with it. That shit happened in like the spring.
Yep.
You know, or something like. I mean, like, come on, you know.
It's
Shohei gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
I will tell you this. I know this is kind of funny to say, but I mean it sincerely too. At least he's in one Hall of Fame. The WWE put him in the Hall of Fame, man. And you know what? He was a big fan of not only wrestling, but all of like combat sports. He was always at boxing matches. I don't know if he got into UFC or not, but I know he was at a lot of boxing matches. So in all sincerity, like at least he got a little bit of that feeling of what it was like to be honored by somebody. Dude took 2 of the craziest tombstone pile drivers from Kane you'll ever see. So I say that in jest, and it is a shame that he will not get to see himself be put in the Hall of Fame. I think they will put him in, but I agree with you. It sucks because he should have gotten recognized while he was alive to be put in there. And yeah. I mean,
he still needs to go in, but
he does.
But it doesn't matter.
It's not the same. It's not at all. I think I saw ESPN say something about him the other day that he's the only player to go to the All-Star game for like 7 different positions or something like that. Was that something?
So he played, I can't remember if it's was it 50 games or like 500 games? It was like 5 different positions that he's like the only player. I think it's 500. You know what? I think I have it in here too.
I mean, I'm just looking here at his stat line. So his career started in 1963. I mean, this guy hardly missed any time either. I mean, that's the crazy thing. And towards the end of his career, a little bit, right? But 157, 136, 162, 156, 148, 149, 156. I mean, obviously, you know, being compared to Cal Ripken Jr., who didn't miss a game in 48 years, is not easy to live up to. But this guy was right behind him. 3-time World Series champ, I believe, 2 with the Reds, 1 with the Phils. Is that correct? That sound right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, I mean, just one of the clips that I love to watch to this day is when he was on the MLB Network with Alex Rodriguez and Frank Thomas, and he was discussing tips about hitting and if you're in a slump, what you should do and what you shouldn't do. It kind of pissed me off because I thought Alex Rodriguez tried to talk over him a lot, and that kind of pissed me off because you listen to that guy talk. You don't talk over him. You listen to him talk.
Right.
And but it was still interesting because just he made it sound so simple. And obviously it's not, because hitting a baseball is one of the hardest things to do in all of sports. So did you find that stat you were looking for?
So I've got I didn't find that exact one, but I think it was so 17. I think it was 500. It was 500. It was either 150 or 500 games at 5 different positions, and he's the only player to play like that many games at 5 different positions. But he went to 17 All-Star appearances in 5 different positions. Right?
Wow.
3 batting titles, MVP, Gold Glove, Rookie of the Year, 4,256 hits, all-time leader in hits, games played, at bats, singles, and outs. And yes, he won 3 World Series.
Yeah. 3-time batting title, Silver Slugger awards, World Series MVP.
Everything.
I don't know if you said
anything you could do in baseball that you could accomplish in baseball, Pete Rose accomplished it.
Yep.
So it's like, come on, man. And here's the thing. If it had been nowadays, he would have been making so much money he wouldn't have needed to bet.
Yeah, good point.
Wasn't the same back there. I mean, it's just it's crazy.
One of the clips you'll always see of Pete Rose when they show him back when players actually played and tried during the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
When he ran over, I can't remember who it was, the catcher, and ran him over in an All-Star game. You would never see that today.
They were brutal back then, man.
Yeah.
You just pride.
Yeah, just
you were an
unbelievable.
All-Star, man. You had to show it back then.
So unfortunately, the losses did not end there. In the basketball world, we lost Dikembe Mutombo, and I did not even know that he had cancer. Was that something that was publicized? Because I did not hear that.
Yeah, I didn't know about it either. So I'm not sure if that was. I think it was like brain cancer.
Yeah, brain cancer.
Yeah.
And by the way, Pete Rose, 83 years old. Dikembe Mutombo, 58 years old. 58
he was young.
years old.
He was still young.
I mean, Mount Mutombo. I mean, I even made a little banner here for because this guy deserves it. But Dikembe Mutombo, Mount Mutombo. I mean, that classic finger wag.
No.
I mean, that was perfect. That was so perfect because it wasn't. He wasn't a showy type guy. He didn't show himself off. He wasn't like a showboat. He didn't dance around. But that right there, I mean, that was so Dikembe Mutombo. That was just his demeanor. Like, that's what he was known for. He was known for his defense. You weren't coming in the middle on him. I don't know what his stat line was. Let me see here. I can see if I can pull this up.
I was watching a video earlier today of him, and he was talking to MJ. It was about MJ not dunking on him. It had been like 6 years, and it must have been behind scenes at an All-Star game because like Patrick Ewing was there in his next gear and stuff and all. And they were talking, and he was telling Patrick, he still hadn't dunked on me, and he looks over at MJ and he gives him the finger wag.
Yep.
Stuff. I guess later that season though he did.
Yeah, I don't know if it
dunked on him.
Yeah, I don't know if it was that season or when it was, but yeah, he did eventually get him. But then even later in life, they interviewed Mutombo about that, and he said, "Hey, I got him a lot more times than he got me."
His defense was just almost unmatched.
Man, I mean, that guy was so hard to go in on, so hard. And let me see if I can.
He could stop anybody at the rim.
7-2 he was. 7-2. Let's see. What was his playing career? So he was with the Nuggets from 91 to 96. And by the way, that Nuggets team, I don't know if you remember them sneaking into the playoffs that one year. I think they were an 8 seed. And didn't they knock off the Seattle Sonics or something? That was a 1 seed. That was like one of the first times ever that an 8 beat a 1. Do you remember that?
I have no.
Okay.
But I think I vaguely remember them getting into the playoffs, but that was a long, long time ago, man.
Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. The 93-94 season saw Denver continue to improve with Mutombo as the franchise cornerstone. During that season, Mutombo averaged 12 points a game, 11.8 rebounds per game, 4 blocks per game. With that, he helped the Nuggets finish with a 42-40 record and qualify as the 8th seed in the playoffs. They were matched with the top-seeded Seattle Supersonics, which were 63-19, and ended up beating them. I think it was. It continues to go on here. After falling in an 0-2 deficit in the 5-game series, Denver won 3 straight games to pull off the major playoff upset, becoming the first 8 seed to defeat a number 1 seed in NBA playoff series. So there you go. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember something about that.
I remember the moment at the end of that when he grabbed that ball and just kind of laid on the floor holding it. Like that was incredible. Just an unbelievable defensive presence in the game. I think he went on to, didn't he go on to coach or something too as well? I could be wrong on that, but I thought he did. I don't know. But career points, 9.8 points per game. Again, not what he was known for.
No,
but
it wasn't score.
Yeah, rebounds over 10 a game, blocks 3 a game. I mean, that's blocking. What you might usually get 1 a game from a center or something like that. Like you don't see that very often.
Too.
But that guy
was just 3 a game. That's really good.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a shame. We lost him at such a young age. I bet you there's a lot of stories floating around about Dikembe Mutombo. He seemed like a really good dude. And I shared it in our group chat. One of my favorite moments of him after he was playing was that commercial. And I don't even remember who it was for. Do you remember who it was for, Charles?
It was an insurance commercial, wasn't it?
I think you're right. I think it was an insurance commercial
or something like that. I feel like it was an insurance commercial.
They kept trying to throw stuff in the grocery cart, and he's just swatting it out of there and doing his finger wag every time afterwards.
I love that. The commercial was great.
Classic.
Even my wife
commercial.
remember. I told her, I was like, because it's crazy how many people, celebrities and sports and entertainment that we've lost in the last 4 days. It's it's nuts. It's kind of freaky a little bit. But I was telling her, and she's like, I don't know who that is. I was like, you remember the commercial with the big dude? And he's like, no. And he's swatting everything away. She's
and
like,
oh, yeah.
Yep. So it's like, he passed away. Chris Christopherson too, man.
Yes, Chris Christopherson. Obviously not, in the sports world, but obviously a very, very big
sports entertainment, man.
Well, that's true. That's true. I mean, he did also play Santa Claus, right? No, that's Kris Kringle. That's the wrong guy.
There's only one highwayman left. That's
Willie.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I told my doctor that it's like somebody needs to check on Willie and make sure he's all right because he was older than all of them.
He's okay.
Keeps your body young, man. I think I got such baby skin.
Oh, good old Willie. Willie. So we will move on to a subject I don't know that I want to talk about, Charles. Where are we sitting in this game? We're still down 5-1?
Are we?
I believe so. Yeah, we are. 5-1, bottom of the 4th. In the AL series, both of the lower seeds swept. So the Royals move on and the Tigers move on. Do we? I mean, obviously we know who they match up against, but I didn't even look at it. So the Tigers play the Guardians, and the Royals will play the Yankees. So that's what we have to look forward to in the divisional series round. The Mets are up currently on the Brewers 3-2 in going into the bottom of the 7th. Did the Mets hang on here, Charles?
Man, so I've been just patiently waiting for the Mets collapse for like half a season now.
They might be the hottest team in baseball.
Happens. I don't know. The Tigers might be the hottest team in baseball.
Well, good point. Good point.
It always happens, right? But I don't know, man. They are here at the end of the season. They've really come on. I hate to say anything good about the Mets, but I feel like
they're playing good ball, man. They are playing good ball.
Yeah.
I mean, they are getting timely hitting. They have good pitching going on right now. If they win, did they play the Phillies or is the winner of our series play the Phillies? I think they would play the Phillies.
I'm pulling it up right now.
I think the winner of Mets Brewers plays the Phillies. I'm almost positive.
But let's not breeze over those American League games because
no, not for sure. I mean, I was just talking about this because they're going on right now. But yeah, we will definitely.
And Ben is there. Hopefully, trying to find some solace in the fact that the Brewers are showing who they really are finally.
I mean,
winner of the Mets Brewers goes to Philly.
That's what I thought. So that'll be interesting, right? Because Philly the last 2 years knocked our Braves out, and both times when they did it, they were fighting just to make it into the playoffs at the end of the year. They had to play good ball, get hot at the end of the year. Now they're on the other side of that coin, so I'm interested to see how that plays out for them.
Oh, I think they're going to look. I don't think they're going to lose in the next round, the Phillies.
Yeah,
but they're not going to be the Dodgers.
Yeah,
not this year. I don't think so.
So you don't think even as hot as the Mets would be right now, that you don't think they can take out the Phillies or the Dodgers?
No, man. The Phillies and the Mets, they know each other very well, and I feel like when it's that kind of a matchup, that usually it goes to which team is the better team. And
it didn't the last 2 years.
Better team. Well, I mean, maybe not. The Braves' offense is good. Is great. The Braves' offense is great, but we didn't have Chris Sale last year.
Yeah,
we
don't have him this year either in the postseason.
Good pitchers for the last 5 seasons. The Braves have sustained all of their success with basically having 2 good pitchers and working the rest of it throughout the season. It's one of the most frustrating things. Like, go out and buy pitching.
It's so weird, right? Because that year when they made the run and they won the World Series, Ian Anderson looked like he was going to be a stud.
Oh, right? I was man, I had such high hopes, and he has been such a disappointment.
And then didn't they have another pitch? And then their bullpen, they had Matzik and help me out here. Who was that? Matzik and who was the one that Will Smith, which by the way, I shared that he's going for his 4th straight World Series.
Yeah.
How about that?
Is it 4th or 5th? 4th?
I think it's 4th.
That is nuts, man.
That is nuts.
That's crazy. Man, he's got a great agent.
Yeah, I'll say. But
and then who else did we have? Oh,
I don't remember. There was one. Who was the guy that got thrown out at the parade because they didn't think he was on the team?
Was that Matzik?
Maybe that was Matzik. I don't know.
No, but who? Oh my gosh, was it? Did we have Flaherty?
We did have Flaherty.
That's who it was.
We did have Flaherty.
And he got smoking hot, like he went back to when he was good.
Yeah, because I think he was the setup guy.
Yeah, because
pretty much we would get to the 6th inning. We'd bring Matzik in, and then I'm missing a guy. I don't remember who. And then it was Flaherty, and then it was what's his name was closing, the old guy, Melancon.
Yeah.
Mark Melancon. But I can't. There's a guy I'm missing in there, and I can't remember who it is for the life.
Oh, I know there was one, but we didn't use him much. That was Jackson.
No, not him. It's not him.
No. What? Well, I want to say Medlin, but he was a starter.
No, it wasn't him.
Yeah. Started. I swear it started.
I'll have to look it up. Give me a second here. Gosh darn it. Why can I not find this? Here we go. Pitchers. AJ Minter.
Minter. See, I told you. I knew it started. I was like, Morton, Medlin. That Minter was going to be the next one I said, probably.
So it wasn't. Flaherty was not on that. It was Will Smith. It was Will Smith.
Minter.
Yeah.
Minter.
So I think I was wrong. I was wrong
of the season.
I was wrong with Melanson too then. So it was they would get to like the 6th inning, they'd bring in Matzik, Minter, and Will Smith, but so I guess they were hoping the starter would get to 6, and then 7th inning was usually Matzik, 8th inning was usually Minter, and then the 9th inning was usually Will Smith. I think that's how it was.
Yeah, Will Smith was the closer.
Yes,
for most of the games.
But anyway, we got way off track here. But that was a fun season. Because I did not expect that. I did not expect them to win that year, and I obviously don't expect them to win this year with all the injuries they've had.
It was so awesome. I got to take AJ. He was what, 4?
Oh yeah,
or so. We went to the parade.
Oh, nice.
Oh, dude, yeah. Unfortunately, we were at the Atlanta portion of the parade because it's the Atlanta Braves, not the Marietta Braves. And they kind of sped through that a little bit, but dude, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that was a good time because I didn't get to go in the 90s. My mom would not let me skip school. I was very upset about that, and I was like, "Yo, I'm letting my kids skip school to go to the parade."
So Charles, I don't really know your background. Are you? I mean, obviously, you live in the Atlanta area. Is that you grew up and raised in the Atlanta area?
No, I'm from Indianapolis.
Okay, that's what I thought because you were a Colt fan. But so how did you get to be a Braves fan, or how did that?
So I moved down here at the end of 1990.
Gotcha.
Right. So like right after the baseball season, like during the World Series, because the World Series used to be almost always on my birthday because my birthday's in the middle of October.
Gotcha.
Right. And so we moved down here. We actually moved down here in 1990 on my birthday. And so the first major, before that, I was a White Sox fan. And
Gotcha.
and I like the Cardinals. Like growing up, Ozzie Smith and Frank Thomas were like my favorite players.
Mm-hmm.
And all because all we had was the Pirates farm team. We had the Indianapolis Indians.
Yep.
Right. So I moved down here. The first Major League Baseball season that I experienced living in a town with a baseball team was the freaking 1991 season.
Nice.
Yeah. Dude, it was insane, man.
Yep.
And I became a Braves fan, man.
Was that the year before they got Maddox then? Or was that the first year of Maddox?
No, because I don't think Maddox was there for the slide.
I don't think he was either.
Yeah. I think that was after.
I think they got him.
Yeah,
the
that
next
was.
year.
I think that was. I want to say that was a couple years after this. Because this was Steve Avery, Tom Glavine, John Smoltz.
Mm-hmm. Is that when they had?
Like Marvin Freeman was probably the closer, and
who was the cat?
Wohlers? No.
Well, no, I don't think Wohlers would have been there yet.
No.
I don't think they would have called him up yet. Who was the cat that? I think they got him from Kent Merker. Was he there?
Merker?
I think he might have been there, or unless I don't know if he
was a beast.
I think they got him from the Reds, right? Isn't that where he came from?
Possibly.
Yeah, I think he was a Red.
Maybe.
5-2.
Oh, there we go. All right.
So Braves.
But yeah, so that's how I became a Braves fan, though, man. Like it was very exciting. It's kind of funny though. My first 2 Major League Baseball games, like in person, were at Wrigley Field, and it was the Cubs and the Astros because my grandma said that every kid should go to a baseball game at Wrigley Field.
Sure.
My grandma lived in this little town up in Wisconsin, so I spent a lot of my summers in Wisconsin as a kid. Actually, little tiny town, nothing but a gas station, a tavern, and a water tower.
Nice.
On a hardware store that had like 5 arcade games. It was pretty cool. But so that, and then that same, like, that was like right before we moved down. And then my next game was Fulton County Stadium. It was also the Braves and the what did I say? Did I say the Astros?
I
The
think
Expos.
no.
It was the Astros. Yeah, the Braves, the Cubs, and the Astros, and the Braves and the Astros.
Right. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, no, wait a minute. So, that's right, because the Astros would have been NL back then.
Yeah,
that's
they used
right.
to be in the National League. That's why I was like, with the Expos and the Astros, they're both gone from the National. But yeah, it was that when the Astros were in the National League and stuff. So, but like when I was a kid, I was there when the Colts moved into town and stuff. So
okay.
Went to Colts games during the first season. So like, I'm
still crazy to me. That's still crazy to me to think.
Awesome. As a kid, that was really freaking exciting.
But like that wasn't known it was happening, right?
No, that's what literally
you woke up the next morning and you're like, wait a minute, we have a football team.
Truck coming into town. Like that's a thing. Like they made a whole podcast about it. And seriously, I've like the title or something like the night the Mayflower trucks came in. Like it just happened. They backed them trucks up to the stadium out there in Baltimore, packed their shit up, hit the road, and pulled into Indy.
I mean, can you imagine?
Y'all got a football team. We're like, oh yeah.
Can you imagine waking up that like how does that even who says what to who? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how does that even come a thing? Is it like a headline in the morning news? Like, by the way, Indianapolis,
big. That was the talk of the town, man. All of a sudden, we woke up and had a football team.
Was that 83? What was that?
Yeah, 83, 84.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's so funny. So anyway, let's get back to baseball. Let's go over to the AL side here a little bit.
Woo! Bobby
I'll tell you, I knew the Tigers were hot. I had a feeling they might sweep the Astros, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, what happened to the Orioles, man? They fell apart at the end of the year. They just died, right? Like
Bobby Witt Jr. happened to him in this particular series. Yeah,
I mean, yes,
he won both games for the Royals. Like legit won both games for the Royals because he's one of the best players in baseball.
True, but I mean the Orioles
did kind of
two runs or one run the whole series.
The Orioles are, and I know we kind of make this analogy more, I think, in football than we do baseball, but to me it's about the same. It's a longer season. And the games are harder and faster in the major leagues, and they got a lot of young guys, and I think that those guys wore down, dude.
Yeah,
players are softer nowadays than they were back in the day, man. You ain't got Ironman, that play every game and stuff like that. Some of these kids, they wear down; they're just not conditioned for it. So they get into the playoffs and they just don't have their best stuff anymore. But I think that's probably what happened to them.
Well, do you know what really? When I saw that they signed Craig Kimbrell, I was like, what are they doing? Like, have they not seen this guy the last few years? He's a loose cannon. He's so inconsistent. He is not the same guy. He's not the same guy he was even when he went to the Red Sox.
No.
He's not been that good since he left the Red Sox. He's very inconsistent.
Yeah, he's been up and down. Like when he's on fire, man, he was one of the best closers. He's not that guy anymore. He's had injury history.
And they finally realized that and moved on from him, but it was too late. He played too many games for them. They might have even won that division if they wouldn't have had him.
The thing is that if you're the Orioles, all season you've been trying to replace what personally I think is the best closer in the game in Batista.
True.
And so, when you get to the playoffs, it's desperate times call for desperate measures sometimes. That's a big name. If there's a glimmer of hope that you can get, 2 series out of him, maybe get 4 closes from him, then I get it. It didn't work, but I get it. Troy, because you're a Braves fan, did you ever get to go to a Braves game when he closed?
Not in Atlanta and not since. And I haven't gone to I've only ever gone to see the Braves when they played in Philly because I'm pretty close to Philly. And I haven't gone. Here's how long it's been since I've been to a Major League Baseball game. I haven't gone since the year the Braves Oh, let's see. That would have been Brian Jordan would have been on the team.
Wow.
So we're
Wow.
looking like maybe 99, 2000, somewhere around there.
Wow. Dude, so when I went to tons of games at Fulton County, and I went to tons of games at the TED. I love the TED.
Yeah.
Oh God, I miss the TED so much. And you had your liquor store and your Taco Bell in the parking lot, and the TED didn't have a problem with you smuggling either one of those things in.
Really?
Oh God, yeah, dude, are you kidding me, man? They barely even patched down. You go to a Wednesday noon game at the TED, go over to the liquor store, get you a bottle, go over to Taco Bell, get you about 4 soft tacos, put them both one in each in your sock or whatever in your pant leg or your cargo pockets, and walk right into the TED. That's how it used to be, man.
That's funny.
It was great. But dude, when Kimbrel would come out, I mean, they'd shut off all the lights. The place would go dark. And just flames would shoot up around on the boards and everything. It was a lot of fun. I went to the very last game.
3-3. 3-3. Mets
Nice.
Brewers 3-3.
There we go. But dude, like the new stadium, I've been to twice. I went to a preseason game versus the Yankees, or spring training game versus the Yankees that they had there, and I went to a game last season and sat in the Chop House. It's not for me. It's ritzy.
No.
It's above my pay grade, man.
I got you.
Yeah, it's just
it looks nice on TV.
Yeah, but $40 for parking is stupid.
Well, I mean, that's
you
almost everywhere, though, isn't it?
Do what?
I said that's almost everywhere, though, isn't it?
That's some bullshit. No, that's double most places. I take my kids to Monster Jam. It ain't $20 to park. It might be $5, at most 20. $40 to park? Like, that's ridiculous for a baseball game when there's 162 of them and you play half of them at home. You don't need to make that much money off of parking. And you don't let my street vendors hang out there anymore. I can't get my knockoff Braves shirts walking up to the stadium. That's ridiculous too.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy the robbery that happens with parking in these venues and such. I mean, I don't know how they get away with it. I really don't. It's crazy. I'm popping the Mets and Brewers game on here a second to kind of see what went down.
See what kind of mood Ben's in.
It'd be pretty funny. It's bottom eight, and we got a guy on first, nobody out, and looks like William Contreras is up to bat. So looks like they got the meat of their order coming up here. So let's see if they can take advantage of this here. He's their 3-hole hitter. So so we'll see what happens. So anyway, I don't know. Did we? I know I asked you, but I don't know if you answered like a politician or what you answered. But did the Mets close this out tonight, or what happens?
Okay. I still like they can collapse, but they're a hot team. I think that they may. It's hard to say with the game tied, man.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Going into this series, I thought that the Brewers were going to win it.
Contreras looks like he hit into a double play. He sure did. So 2 outs, bottom of the 8th with the 4-hole hitter coming up. I don't know who their 4-hole hitter is, but
the Mets always collapse. If they win tonight, they'll get it. If they lose tonight, they won't. Win.
I don't know why. There's something funny to me, and I don't mean that in a weird way, about this Mets team. I think they're going to win this series. I think they're even going to win it tonight, to be honest with you. I think they're going to close this out tonight. I think the Padres close the series out against the Braves tonight, and crazy enough, I think all the wild card round is all going to be sweeps. And the only one that was the higher seed that's not going to win is the freaking Braves.
Yeah, but look, the Braves just being in it to me is I'm cool with
it. Was a win. It was a win.
Fan, I'm cool with that. We made it to the playoffs.
I mean, with Strider going down, Acuna going down, Riley going down, Sale not available for the playoffs. Like this is just incredible. The injuries they came through this year.
Yeah,
and I said this wholeheartedly, and I don't know if I think Ben might have commented on it or something, but they found a lot out about their young talent on their team this year through all this adversity. And if Fried resigns,
No, he's gone.
you think?
Oh yeah, I feel like down here in Atlanta, like it's pretty much assumed at this point. There was moves. If he wasn't gone, he'd already be signed.
Okay. Why do you think that's more him, or
It's
do you
money.
think that's more Atlanta money? You
What
just don't
I
think they would have
what I
worked it
hear
out?
is that him and his agent are valuing him higher than what the Braves are, or at least what the
Gotcha.
Braves are willing to pay.
Sometimes doesn't that kind of linger and linger and linger all the way up until spring training, and
Yeah, how'd
they
that go
realize?
with Freddie?
Well, how did that go with Freddie? Because that's still a shady situation.
That doesn't go on with AA. That doesn't go on with AA.
No. But
They
listen,
put money on the table and that with the Braves, and that's the offer.
No, I agree with you.
Take it.
I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, Freddie was willing to take less to go to the Braves, and his agent
was he? Dude,
yes,
there's
I
like
think he
7
was.
sides to this story.
There is. I get that, but
If Freddie wanted to be a Brave, he'd fucking be a Brave.
I don't know that I totally agree with that.
He went
really
to
don't.
the enemy, dude. He went to the Dodgers of all teams. He was the face of the Braves, and he went to the Dodgers. Fuck Freddie. If he wanted to be a Brave, he'd be a Brave.
I don't know if I say fuck Freddie. I still like Freddie a lot.
No, I do. I love him. He's a really
Yeah.
likable guy, but
He is, yeah.
No, dude. Not, but I don't love him again until he takes the Dodger uniform off.
So that's my opinion. I think all the series close out tonight, and I think we already know what's going on in the divisional round. And I guess we'll probably touch on the divisional round next week. When does that even start? Does that kind of start up right away as soon as these series are over?
Let's see what we got the schedule right here.
Yeah, let me pull this up.
I've got it right here.
Oh, so Saturday it looks like.
Yeah,
It looks like they'll all start on Saturday, all 4 games.
Yeah, because if there's games remaining, they'll be played on Thursday.
And so this is a best of 3. Next round is a best of 5, correct?
And then they take. Yes.
Okay. So it's possible by the time we talk next week, we might not even get to talk about the divisional round because it might be done. Some of them.
Well.
Or do they play every other day?
Yeah, no, they possibly both of them because next Wednesday, we've got game 3 in the LDS, and right now it looks like game 4 for the NLDS.
Yeah, game 3 and game 3 for the NLDS are both scheduled Tuesday. Game 3 for the unless I'm looking at this wrong.
Yeah, you're right. Game 3, and then game 4 is on Wednesday.
Yeah, and then game 3 in the ALDS are both on Wednesday.
Yep.
So if we see a sweep, we might not even get to talk about this divisional round.
Okay, what just happened? Because the Brewers just took the lead 5-3.
Somebody must have just cranked one.
Because according to Ben's team, it was somebody who plays for the Arizona Cardinals.
What?
I don't know. It just popped up. Check your Facebook feed.
Oh, yeah.
But as soon as I saw that, I knew. I was like, the Brewers must have just scored. 5-3.
Oh, yeah. Here, it's Mitchell? Is that Mitchell?
Garrett Mitchell homers.
Yep.
On a live drive instead of.
Yep, there it is. So there we go. Okay, well then they might make a big liar out of me.
Was on base.
So they might make a big liar out of me. The Mets might not win it tonight.
I'll tell you this right now. If the Mets do not win tonight, they do not win the series.
That's a good call, and I kind of like that. What's the pitching matchup tomorrow? Do we know? Or do they even play tomorrow?
No, because these teams, they don't.
I know they always wait. I know
until like that. Yeah, that day because they want to see how it goes and.
So let's see if we have anything listed here
That's probably why Sale got back spasms. It was from boredom, waiting for a game to throw.
Yeah, so we'll keep you updated on that. We're going to move on to some NCAA.
I have a bold prediction for these playoffs.
Go for it.
The Royals are going to knock the Yankees out of the playoffs.
Wow. That is pretty bold.
Yep. It's going to happen, though.
Okay. Tigers are hot. Guardians have always been known to not really ever do much in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, but they've been a really, really solid team for like 3 seasons now.
Could you imagine?
They've got the pieces. They are an all-around good team.
Could you imagine Tigers, Royals, ALCS? Could you imagine?
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. If the Braves lose, I am going to be pulling for the Royals. There's just a feel-good team, and I don't have a dog in the fight. I cannot pull for any of the other teams in the National League.
I was just going to say that too. There's none of the teams in the National League that I would pull for. I could maybe pull for Cleveland just because it's been so long for them, you know.
Yeah. It's just I don't know.
Here's the thing: if everything goes
for them,
if everything goes the way, and even the Brewers, and I have nothing against the Brewers. Even the Brewers, I would if the Brewers move past. They're the one team in the NL I would be okay with seeing win it.
Yeah, I agree. Like I'm pretty impartial to the Brewers, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the better team that was in Milwaukee, so it's all good anyhow. But the other 3 teams that are in these playoffs, I absolutely despise. Yeah. I mean, just hate with a furious passion.
Yeah, not a Mets fan, not a Phillies fan. Padres, don't they seem like a little bit of a showboaty team for not having ever done anything?
Yeah, they're young. Here's the thing, though. Specifically, I love Tatis.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. He's fun to watch. I don't care if he flips bats and does whatever. These kids, that's how they grew up. It's not the same for us.
Isn't.
Like, we were taught, much more sportsmanship when we were growing up was a bit classier.
Sure.
Than it is now.
Agreed.
Now it's like showboating's part of it. It took me a while to be okay with it, but now it's like I don't care. And if it's a player I like, I'm like, all right, I'm cool with it. But yeah, I mean, like they're a little cocky, but they are in the playoffs, and they're in the playoffs being in the division that they're in. And that's a pretty big accomplishment in itself. That's a stout division. You got to see the Dodgers and the Giants all the time.
Was it Ben that was saying between the Brewers, the Padres, and the Guardians that like none of those teams have won the World Series and that we might see a new World Series champion or something? Is he saying that? Do you remember that chat we had going a couple days ago?
The Indians have a World Series, don't they?
Yeah, I think they do, but I think
didn't they?
Not the Guardians, though.
No, but didn't we lose to the Indians in the World Series?
No, that's the one we beat. We beat them in '95. Yeah,
but didn't we turn? Didn't they? No. Did they only go once?
No, they lost to the Marlins too.
Did they lose to the Marlins?
Yeah, I think '97 or something like that.
I say because I thought they went to the World Series a few times in the '90s.
Well, you know what's awesome? We have this thing called Google, and we can look this up. And Cleveland Indians World Series appearances. Let's look this up.
Oh man, they do have 2.
6 times.
Yeah, but they've only got 2 wins: 1920 and 1948.
Yeah. So I guess it's been quite a while. But yeah, they lost in '95 to us, '97 to the Marlins, in 2016. I don't remember that one. Oh, that was the Cubs. The Cubs and the Indians. I remember that because they were both saying like it was going to be a team that hadn't won in forever. But yeah. So, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
And they did beat the Braves in the World Series in 1948.
Are you serious?
Beat the Boston Braves 4-2.
That's great. Okay, let's get off baseball a little bit here. We're not going to go in depth as we do when Ben's here with NCAA football, but we will go over a few of the headlines. Let's look at the slate here a little bit. Anything really stick out to you? Obviously, the Kentucky over Ole Miss, that was huge, right?
Oh my God, dude! That
Kentucky finally pulls one out.
So this was a week where, and this happens. We'll have like 3 weeks where this happens, where the SEC just feasted on itself, just ate itself, did everything it could to try to knock itself out of contention from everything. I was a bit surprised about that, but the thing is Kentucky's is a tough, scrappy team. I mean, look, they took they had the dogs on the ropes the entire game.
Yep.
You know.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't their quarterback Vandegrift? He's a Georgia transfer, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like half the teams out there have a Georgia quarterback as a transfer. So
sure, I understand.
It didn't work out for all.
But I was happy for Kentucky though. I mean, I was kind of sad because I thought Ole Miss had something going this year. I know you're probably not an Ole Miss fan because they're down in your territory there and stuff like that. But from an outsider that's not in that area, I always feel like Ole Miss is kind of just always right there and never can quite do it. So I was kind of hoping that they would do it this year. But yeah, they're not going to do it now, and not in that SEC. They're not going to be able to stick through now.
That's the thing with Ole Miss is a lot of times, even when they're good, they're just not as good as some of the other SEC teams. You can be better than anybody, than all the other teams and all the other conferences in the nation, and you will still come down in the SEC and get your ass kicked.
Yep.
It's the best of the best down here. It's a different style of football.
Talk me through the Georgia-Alabama game for you. What was that, like 27-7? Was that 27-7 at halftime, or what was that?
Was that it? I thought it was like 30-7.
It might have been. I don't remember, but it was pretty bad. Like
it was 37, I think.
What?
Yeah, because when that second half, because we're fourth quarter team, second half team. Dude, I actually about 3 minutes into the second quarter, I was like, you know what? I'm not watching this for a minute. I turned it on something else. Because I was just like, no, I can't do this, dude. Because at that point, like Carson Beck looked like crap.
Yeah, he really did in that first half for sure.
Crap. Yeah. And like, I had somebody ask me, "You think Carson Beck was betting against the Bulldogs?" Down there throwing the game against because like that's how bad it was. And the defense, man, it's so we're used to the Dogs being such a stout defense, but a lot of those defenses are playing on Sundays now.
I was just going to say there's been a lot of turnover.
Aren't the same. Yeah, it's not coming together like a Kirby Smart defense yet. It's just been rough. I got excited. The second half, that was incredible. In true Georgia Bulldog fashion, we came storming back like we've done on Alabama so many times before just to lose it to some BS. I mean, first you give up a 75-yard touchdown right after you get the lead.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus. Dude's like, what? Like, where was the defense on that? That was just blatantly bad. And then the pick in the end zone.
Yeah.
You get all that work. You're there. We're going to win. And the receiver goes this way. The ball goes this way. Like, I want to know where the miscommunication was because he curled out and Beck threw it in and threw it right to the freaking safety. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I saw that they came back and he made it go. Oh, we got a final. Brewers win 5-3.
Oh, there you go. Mets are done for.
So you're calling it, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to see the pitching matchup before I say for sure. But I tell you what, that's a big comeback win for the Brewers. That is big. That could be what they need to start building momentum. I'm interested to see how that plays out for them.
I mean, for the Brewers, I think they just got to be happy to be here. They
really
play, yeah. They had a way better season than what they are. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, look, they were the first team in the National League to clinch their division. Now, mind you, they did that with basically the worst record of like any of the other teams in the National League that are in the playoffs, but which should tell you something. I mean, that they played enough to win the worst division in the National League.
Sure.
So to me, it's like, you know, they should just be excited that they have playoff baseball.
I don't know. I tend to agree with you that the Mets are probably done. I just keep coming back to something's really special about the way they're playing right now. And believe me, I don't like saying that at all.
No, I get it. I mean, it's hard to say anything positive about such a trash franchise that's been the epitome of the dog shit on the bottom of my shoe for 20 years. You know what I mean? And it's just, they're like seriously one of the most classless and worst organizations in baseball. It's ridiculous.
You can't say the Mets without thinking of that carnival music, you know?
Oh my God. Right? Seriously. We'll go through that show though.
But anyway, okay, so back to college football.
Is that what we were talking about?
That's what we were talking about. Yeah, but I saw that final popped up, and I wanted to acknowledge.
This is what you get with the Troy and Charlie show. It's just a bunch of bash on all the teams that aren't the Braves.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what do we got? Top of 6 here going on for the Braves. I don't know how that's going to end up. We'll see. Not good, I'm sure. I'm going to get that game streaming a while we're talking.
Oklahoma, Auburn. I thought that was a really good game. Auburn kind of started to take away, run away with it a little bit there in the first. I think they were up like 14 or nothing. I think when I was at work. But when I walked into the lobby, I think that's what I saw.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew Oklahoma. They're gonna end up getting them in the end. But Auburn hung tough with them. So I thought that was pretty good. All the SEC teams, they all played each other really strong.
How about the end of that Miami Virginia Tech game?
Oh yeah.
Wasn't there some controversy going there with a catch that wasn't a catch, or there a non-catch that was a catch?
They overturned it, and I think it was a catch, right?
Yeah, I think it was too. Yeah,
the Hail Mary. I remember seeing it, and I remember whenever I saw the take on the video I was watching, I was like, yeah, I think that the call was, shouldn't have been overturned. Like, it looked like it was a good call in the first place.
So real quick, back to the baseball update here. Matt Olson is up to bat, runners on first and third with 2 out in the top of the 6th.
Come on, Olson.
Olson with a chance to the tying run here at the plate. So we'll see what happens. They did bring a lefty in to face him. So we'll see how this plays out here. It's
Olson can hit
1-1 count. Yeah, Olson was hot at the end of the year. So I like that he's in here in this position. I like that a lot. And I also like that he's up there. I don't know if you've heard any of his interviews recently, but he's basically just saying like nobody expected anything from us. This is, nobody feels sorry for us that we lost all these players. Like, I like that he's taking that approach because it's true. People don't feel sorry for you when they lose players. They want to take advantage of that. So, hey, Charles, I'm going to leave you hanging here a second. I got to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. So if you want to talk through anything else in college football, and then we'll come back and talk NFL.
Yeah. So not to leave you guys hanging, Olson lined out. He did not come up. So back to NCAA football. So couple of other interesting games that I thought over the weekend. BYU Baylor, that ended up being a pretty good game. It was a final of 34-28. Texas A&M, they took down Arkansas. Arkansas is tough. I know they've lost a few, but they've been fighting real hard. Texas A&M trying to stay ranked. They were right there at the bottom, I think 24th, 25, 24 going. So, they're trying to stay ranked right now. This week, we've got, we'll pull up the whole here. We've got some good ones. Auburn's going to play Georgia. We've got Missouri and Texas A&M. So you've got two ranked teams. Again, Texas A&M at the bottom of the list. But that ought to be a pretty good matchup. Ole Miss and South Carolina, they're going to play each other pretty hard. That ought to be a good one as well. Alabama, they're going to take on Vandy. That'll be an easy one for them. We're going to see FSU and Clemson. That ought to be a fun one. Clemson's ranked, but that doesn't make them any good. So that ought to be what I expect, kind of a sloppy game. Ought to be a pretty entertaining game. Clemson's going to walk away with the win because Florida State couldn't find a win if it slapped them in the face. But, other than that, you got a lot. Most of the ranked teams are just kind of phoning it in this week. Penn State's playing UCLA. UNLV and Syracuse are matching up. That might be an all right game. Syracuse is 3-1 going into that matchup. They've been playing pretty good football so far. UNLV's hanging on to the last spot in the top 25. So we'll see. Michigan State and Oregon, that could be fun as well. Oregon, probably a lot of push-up for the Duck on that one, though. And then Iowa State and Baylor. Baylor's been playing people pretty tough. Iowa State's looking to stay undefeated. They're 16th in the nation right now. That ought to be a pretty good one, too. Other than that, like I said, they're kind of phoning it in this weekend for some of the matchups.
So me being a Michigan fan, I kind of really love the fact that Michigan's going to Washington. And if I'm not mistaken, first of all, this is a national championship rematch, which is pretty cool. Secondly, I think the Huskies are favored in this game.
Let me pull that line up. Let's see. Washington -2.5.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
That's kind of crazy to me. I feel like Michigan should be the favorite. I mean, they're going in ranked 10th. Washington has lost 2 games on the season already. Well, I mean, I guess, okay. I'll say this. I think that the money is probably taking into account the travel.
Mm-hmm.
And this, for Michigan, this isn't a travel that they are used to at all. They haven't had a lot of high-powered wins. Washington.
Look who Washington's played, though. I mean, so they beat Weber State. They beat Eastern Michigan. They lost to Washington State. They beat Northwestern, and they lost to Rutgers.
Wow. Let's see. 30-9 against East. Northwestern 24-5. They barely lost to Rutgers.
Yeah, but still. I mean, Rutgers is nothing special.
Yeah.
Although they're 4-0 right now. How about that?
But so, I mean, here's the thing. Okay, so yeah, Michigan, they beat what? Minnesota 27-24. USC.
Yeah, they blew that game at the end, though. I don't know if you were watching that. They were whipping them pretty good.
Still, I mean, it was a close game.
Yep.
Remember, style still counts in college ball.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It ain't got to be pretty to be a win, but pretty helps when you're in the college ranks. And here's the thing. I mean, they got spanked. They got spanked by the Longhorns.
Yeah.
31-12, and they had absolutely nothing for them. So, I mean, you could say maybe Washington is a little unproven, whereas I think we know what we're getting with Michigan this season.
I just find it really interesting that it's not often you see an unranked team that doesn't really have any strong wins on their resume to be favored over a top 10 team. Like, even though they're on the road, I get that.
Yeah.
But it's not like Washington is, Death Valley.
No, it's unusual, but you know what? Might be worth it to put some money on Michigan.
Well, here's the thing. Like, Vegas always knows something. Always.
Mm-hmm.
So it really makes you think, like, there's probably an upset brewing here.
It's quite possible. I mean, I could see it. Look, the travel alone, to me, this is, for a lot of these teams in this conference, this is kind of, other than maybe a bowl game here or there, this is kind of unknown territory for them, especially this kind of travel consistently through the season.
Sure.
So I feel like that may be one of the factors that, is going to go to this. Plus, so I haven't really watched Washington, so I don't know how their defense is, but looking at the Michigan games, the only solid defense they've come up against completely shut them down.
Mm-hmm.
So, if Washington's play favors their defense more than their offense, maybe they like the matchup there.
Possibly.
I mean, there's always something going on in Vegas. So they've got their reasons. They got their reasons that they do what they do. Those
but either way, it'll be fun.
They're good at their jobs.
It'll be fun to see a rematch, though, for sure. So I'm interested to see that.
Yeah. It'll be a good game. I don't know, man. For me, the college season's pretty much – it's almost over now for me. Georgia, they just lost to Alabama. We're going to lose to Texas here in like a week or two, and then that's it. So,
you think that's how it goes down?
Unfortunately, yeah. If they play like that, did you see it? Did you see it in the Georgia Alabama game? That team can't beat Texas. That team cannot beat Texas. Not that defense.
Well,
they're gonna have to make some changes, and this is the sad part. This is the thing that I hate now. This is why. Okay, I absolutely love the 12-team playoff expansion. I think because for the longest time it was like, oh well, we lost a game, our season is over, it sucks. So I'm just, I'm kind of used to that. So if we lose to Texas, I'm still gonna have to be like, well, that's 2 games. At least we could have gotten away with the 1 loss. I mean, it only knocked us down to 4. So the 2, it's hard to come back from.
I like that they expanded the playoffs. I just wonder if 12 is too many now. Like, I feel like 4 wasn't enough, but 12 isn't. I thought 8 was the number.
But here's the thing. There's 122 teams?
Probably more than that, but yeah, there's a lot.
But no, like NCAA Division 1, isn't it? Like 122 teams or something like that?
Yeah, you're probably right, but
teams.
I thought it was more than that. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot.
Okay. If it's more than that, then that makes my argument even stronger.
Okay.
How many teams are there in the NFL? 32. How many teams go to the playoffs? You know what I mean? How many teams are there in the Major League Baseball? How many teams?
Again, I disagree with that though too. I feel like there shouldn't be 17. I think there should still be 6 NFL playoff teams.
Okay, but if there were 6, even at 6 for 32 teams, yeah, we all play fantasy football. How many of y'all out there playing in 12-team leagues and 6 teams go to the playoffs? You know what I mean? Like, if you have 120-something, 130-something teams that are in this contest, then 12, that's like you're talking about 10% or less.
134.
So I said 122 or 134? Yeah. So, I mean, if you look at it like that, by the numbers, is 12 teams even enough? 12 teams is definitely fair.
I get your point, but does that 12th team, do you think, have a realistic shot of winning it all?
12 is the only way that they could get all the conferences in because the SEC is so damn good. It's the bottom line. 8 wouldn't have done it. 8 wouldn't have done it. You'd have 5, 6 SEC teams in there. You're going to end up with 6 SEC teams most likely in the 12-team playoff this season.
Well, I think when I looked at the rank, I don't know what they are this week, but I think when I looked at the rankings last week, they had 7 of the top 8 spots or something.
We've had We've had it's been like that for almost the whole season.
Yeah. Now Ole Miss dropped out, so they're not there anymore.
Still got Missouri. But see, here's the thing. How much damage is one SEC loss going to do for an SEC team in a 12-team playoff?
True.
I mean, I still,
So you got Alabama, Texas, Tennessee, Georgia.
I mean, look.
So you got 4 of 8 right now.
Hey, the same colleges that compete in football in the NCAA compete in basketball in the NCAA. And we're all about having 60 of them in the playoffs. So
you got 5 in the top 10.
You can't name 12 if we're going to have, March Madness. It's NCAA sports.
You got 5 in the top 10, and the Big Ten has Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, and Michigan. So they got 4 in the top 10. And then you got Miami and who am I missing? No, wait a minute. 4. Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, Miami's the one oddball in there in the ACC. Yeah. So and USC's right there. And then there's Ole Miss. I mean, it's crazy to look down this list. And I bet you 20 of that might be a little high. I bet you 18 of the 25 top 25 teams are probably either SEC or Big Ten.
Yeah, it's possible.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on to the NFL. I know we're running a little long here. Go over to the NFL. Week 4 is in the books. We have 2 teams undefeated left. Is that right? Is it the Chiefs and Vikings?
Right the Vikings, man.
Who called that? Who called that?
No.
Sam Darnold rejuvenating his career. Unbelievable. I guess sitting under the learning tree of Kyle Shanahan has done a lot for his career.
Now you have to wonder, was it Sam Darnold or was it the Jets?
Well, what happened when Geno Smith left there?
But you are correct. Kansas City and Minnesota Vikings are the only undefeated teams left.
We see a rematch here of Super Bowl III coming up?
No. I don't think Kansas City's going to the Super Bowl this year.
What if
they
get Tyreek Hill or Devontae Adams?
Okay. They are not going to get Devontae Adams. The Las Vegas Raiders are not going to trade him to them.
I don't think so either.
You're talking about one of the most hated rivalries in sports right there.
Yep.
Kansas City Chiefs and the Raiders? Hell no. Besides, from what I hear, there's already talk going on between I think the Falcons, the Jets, and the Raiders to move pieces and possibly like a multi-team trade.
But there's also, I think the Saints are in that mix too, aren't they?
His boy back.
You think the Saints are in that mix too?
Maybe. I don't know why they would be though.
Well, you know how much Devontae wanted to play with Derek Carr, and now.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. I didn't think about that. Yeah, but does he really want to play with him still? I mean,
I don't know.
Not looking too great.
But here's the thing. I was talking with actually a friend about this tonight, and it made me kind of think about this. Let's say Devontae, for whatever reason, would get traded to the Jets. How would that go in that locker room when they already have a number 1 in Garrett Wilson? They already have a number 2 in Mike Williams. They already have a number 3 in Allen Lazard. Now, granted, I understand Devontae has built a resume and he's done that, but he wasn't with that team. He didn't put the time in on that team. And now he's just going to come in and jump over them? Like, don't you think?
Yes, he absolutely would. He is Aaron Rodgers' boy. Aaron Rodgers runs that team. He gets.
Well, yeah, you can tell by how he treats his coach.
Wilson is absolutely not playing like a number 1 right now. I don't know if that's Garrett Wilson or if that's Aaron Rodgers or a combination of the two, or maybe the coaching. He came out and made that comment the other day about his route, the route tree and stuff. So maybe they're not. Maybe this Jets regime is not using him the way that they should for him to be successful. But he put the work in on that team, doesn't matter. He has put the work in. He is known across the NFL as one of the best receivers out there, and he has proven that time and time again. Even on a team as shitty as the Raiders, he continues to stack up stats. And they don't win nothing or nothing, but he gets his. He's always getting touchdowns. He does his thing. He's earned it. Any team that he comes into, he has the right to take the number one spot, because most likely he will be the best receiver on that team. And for me, if I'm the Rams, I've already got somebody at the doorstep of that Vegas organization with flowers and chocolate candy knocking on the door. Hey, sweetie, can we talk?
Yeah.
Because they need to do something. All of their receivers are banged up. Coop,
they're already sitting down there at 1. They're already sitting there at 1-3 though, Charles. Already.
1-3 is nothing in the NFL season. Plenty of teams can start 1-3 and then get hot.
That's true.
And for an organization like that, are you sitting around, if you're them, thinking, oh man, we're 1-3, oh, we suck again? Or are you thinking, man, dude, if we hadn't been banged up, we probably would have won, 2 of these games.
Yeah.
Man, if we had a receiver, if we had Puka, or if we had Cup, man, if our quarterback had anyone to throw to, because we got this, a decent QB and a great running back, we've got a line that can make holes and open up a passing game. So, for me, that's who needs to get him. I don't know if he'll necessarily end up there because of the finances, but if they can make it happen, I don't know how many years he has left. Is his contract up this year or next year?
I think he's in year 3 of a 5-year deal.
So he's got 2 years left?
I think so.
But I'll tell you what, Philly's another one.
How about this team? How about Washington?
Absolutely. Especially since they traded away Johan Dotson.
How crazy would that be?
Dude, scared. Oh my gosh. What would he do for Scary Terry?
Yeah.
That guy right now is getting double coverage, and he's still, the last couple of games, he has been, because him and Daniels have gotten into a rhythm now. You put Adams out there opposite of him, you can't double cover both of them.
Right.
And Scary Terry's a beast, dude. Terry McLaurin is awesome receiver. I love that guy ever since college, man. I mean, team he played for, but
I mean that dude can definitely take the top off of defense. I mean, that's for sure.
And right now, you're talking about a team that ain't supposed to be where they are because they're in first place in their division.
And that would be a reason maybe where they say maybe we don't want to do that because we are playing a little bit ahead of schedule. Let's let our young players develop. Let's see where this goes, and then at the end of the season, we'll see what we need.
Could justify the means as well, though. Be like, hey, look at how good we're doing. What if we add this guy?
And the Eagles are obviously going
with this division.
Eagles are obviously going through some injuries. Dallas doesn't look right.
And Cooks ended up on the injury report today. Dallas is another one. They've got a great alpha, but they really need somebody opposite of him.
Well, I'll tell you what,
they won't pay him the money.
Their running game is terrible. Dallas's running game is terrible.
No, you got to give Uncle Rico. He's getting there. Couple more games, man. He's going to be rushing for 110 yards and a touchdown each game.
But
that offense is progressing.
Could you imagine the passing game they would have with Devontae Adams and CeeDee Lamb?
Oh, yeah. Because, see, here's the thing. CeeDee Lamb is best as a slot receiver.
Yep.
And you could just stick him in the slot all day long and
Yep.
let Adams do the rest of the work.
Let them on the
Oh, my
same
God.
put them on the same side of the field. What are you gonna do?
Oh,
What are you gonna do?
yeah.
Pick your poison.
That was great.
Yeah.
I mean, that
That'd
makes
be fun to
a
see.
lot of sense.
It'd be fun to see. But yeah, you're right. Will Jerry want to pay that? Probably not.
He's such a penny pincher when it comes to
He
players.
really is.
shouldn't
He
be.
really is.
Man's
But then he cries
loaded.
about
You
his
ever
team
read all
not
that,
doing
buddy?
good, but he doesn't. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, let's kind of look through the stand. Well, here I'll tell you what. Let's look back
What about
through.
Jacksonville?
Whoa, wow.
Dude, T-Law needs some help. He needs some help. They look
I'm not-
terrible. Is their
not-
coach on the hot seat?
Dude,
It's-
he's
it's
got to
Doug-
be.
It's Doug Peterson, right?
He's got to be.
Peterson
How
on
is
the
he
hot
not?
seat?
How is he
I'm
not?
gonna have to hit up my brothers and ask them what the word is down there.
They've won one game in the last calendar year or something.
Yeah, they've lost 9 out of their last 10 games, I think it was.
Yeah.
Or like 9 in a row, something like that.
Like,
But they're about to go play over in their hometown for a couple of games.
that could get him going.
Yeah, they're going to be over there on the other side of the pond. So
Playing. How about the undefeated Vikings versus the winless Jags?
that's not who it is though.
Oh, isn't it? Who do they play?
No,
I'm
the
sorry.
Jags, the Vikings and the Jets are playing.
Yeah.
No, the Jags are playing like Chicago and somebody else terrible, New England.
Oh, the Jags go over in 2 weeks. They play the Bears.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks they're going over there, and
then they play the
Patriots.
Patriots.
And they're playing the Bears and the Patriots.
Yep.
They're gonna get some. So they're gonna get some home wins right there.
So you guys got the Colts this week, or the Jags got you guys this week.
Yeah, they're gonna lose
Like that?
shit. They're gonna lose. Actually,
Okay.
you know what? I love my Colts, but we're playing at Jacksonville, aren't we?
Yep.
This will be the first win for the Jags this season.
You're calling
Colts,
it?
We haven't won in that stadium in like something like seriously like 10, 11 games. Dude, the year that the Colts that we went and won the Super Bowl, so I was living in Jackson. So a good portion of my family is actually from Jacksonville.
Okay.
All but one of my siblings. My dad lived there for a long, long time. It's up. Both of my brothers still live down there. They're all Jags fans. So when I was living down there, one of the years that I was living down there was when the Colts went and won the Super Bowl. I went to the game that season when we played the Jags, and we lost in that stadium. It was like 43-17. I mean, It was a shellacking. Yeah.
Was that David Garrard?
Me too for wearing a Peyton Manning jersey.
Would that been David? Was that David Garrard or was that Byron Leftwich?
I believe that was Byron.
Yeah.
I think that was Byron.
That's crazy.
But yeah, dude, it's like a curse. The Colts going down there is a curse.
I'll tell you what. I'm not putting any hex on your team here or anything like that. But wouldn't that be a crazy turnaround for them to beat the Colts this week and go over to London where they feel quite at home?
So 2021, last time we won in that stadium.
Go over to London where they feel quite at home, win 2 games over there, and all of a sudden you went from 0-4 to 3-4.
That would be nuts.
And I could see it happening. But then they come back.
Oh, no.
But then they come back after that and play the Packers.
Here's what it was. So when the Colts beat the Jags on the road, that was a London game, I believe.
Oh, really?
The Indianapolis Colts, we have not won a road game against Jacksonville since 2014. It was 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. The last time we beat them in Jacksonville, Mount Bradshaw was our running back.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. September 21st, 2014.
So you can look at that in 2 ways, though. They're due, though, right?
They are due, but I don't know, man. It's been a rough go of it so far. I know we got the win. technically, if the season ended today, the Colts would be in the playoffs. But
There you go.
this might be the only week I can say that.
The Jags never faced Joe Flacco in a Colts uniform before, though.
Yeah, neither is anybody else.
So, looking back at Week 4 here a little bit quick, the Falcons Saints game. What a game! Did you get to catch that at all?
Some of it. Okay, so right now, my son AJ started. He's playing flag football. This is his first season, and it was advertised that all of the games were going to be done by 2, and it was kind of advertised more that these games would be going on in the morning. No. The first graders have drawn we're going to practice at 1 slot and play the game starting at 1:30.
Oh boy!
So I didn't see the first half of like football. Hardly. I mean, obviously, I've got on my phone. I've got the Colts game on my Sirius that I listen to while I'm cheering him on and stuff. But so I haven't got to see a whole lot of it. I've only been watching the 4 o'clock games for the most part, because by the time we get home, it's in the fourth quarter.
Yep. Yeah, that's. I mean, obviously, when my team's on, not on, I'm typically flipping through Red Zone, and they were on that game quite a bit because it was a very good game. But that was, it was a lot of fun to watch. What else sticks out? I mean, the Vikings over the Packers, and I mean, the Vikings came out and were whooping the crap out of the Packers, and the Packers came flying back and almost could have won that game. They had 2 missed field goals in that game.
That was crazy.
I mean,
the Jags hung tough with the Texans.
I think the Texans took the lead there with like a minute to go, right?
Yeah, I think it did come right down to it. Now, so I'm like you. I watch a lot of the football that I watch is Red Zone.
I'm sorry, 18 seconds to go.
Wow. So, I was pretty much watching all of the afternoon games. That Broncos-Jets game.
How about that?
Like, what in the world? I get it, man. It was, it was bad weather and stuff, but, man, what a stinker of a game. Just
10-9, yeah.
The Buccaneers, now that I thought was crazy. The Bucs beating up on the Eagles. I mean,
I kind of called that, to be honest, because I didn't think they'd spank them. But I kind of called that when the Eagles were missing A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
Who the heck are they going to throw the ball to?
Jahan Dotson.
Yeah, but they haven't. They're not using him.
No, I don't understand. Look, in one of my fantasy leagues, as soon as I got the word that A.J. Brown was out, my first thought was, oh, this is going to be it. Dotson's going to break out, man. All they're going to throw it to is Dotson and the tight end. That's going to be it. So I went and picked them up on this. It's a very deep league with a long roster and small benches. So I was like, yeah, dude, I'm going to pick him up and put him in, and another dud.
Two catches on 4 targets for 11 yards.
Say, threw it to him 4 times. Like, what in the world? And a game that was really good that I did get to see a good bit was that the Commanders and the Cardinals. And again, I know we've already kind of touched on Washington a little bit as we were talking about Devontae Adams, but man, they look really good. That offense looks really strong. Not that Arizona's defense is great or anything like that, but they really look like a team that's got it together.
But it's not the first week that Washington's done this.
Too.
It's not the first week Washington's done this. I mean, I forget who they played.
They beat the Bengals.
The Bengals. Yeah. I mean, they're playing really good ball. Yeah,
look good doing it. My thing is too, but with the Commanders is that defense, because I view the Cardinals as a pretty high-powered offense with a lot of weapons, and to hold them to 14 points, and to hold them to 14 points in a game where you've scored 42, so to hold them to that in garbage time as well, that's something's brewing there.
Chiefs barely.
The Raiders won.
Yep. The Browns are.
They're a mess.
They are a mess.
They're doing Browns things.
They're back to being the Browns. You're right. Yeah. I mean, that's.
I mean, they've been beating the Browns the whole.
Well, I mean, last year they looked a little
terrible.
different. Last year they looked a little different.
Yeah, but that was like kind of a patchwork team that kind of got hot by chance.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Defense carried them all year last year, really.
Yeah, they're a mess.
I couldn't believe the Chiefs only snuck by the Chargers. I mean, I get it, they're division rivals. I get all that. But I thought the Chargers were like they had a bunch of injuries. I mean, Herbert was wobbling around.
Well,
they were missing. Out? Joe Alt was out. I mean, it just it was just kind of crazy. John Alt. What is his name? Is it Joe Alt?
Yeah, Joe Alt. That's the one they drafted, right?
Yeah. I couldn't remember because I'm thinking there's a John Alt, but wasn't he an old player that played for the Chiefs or something?
Maybe. Is it his dad?
Yeah, I think so.
It sounds like it'd be
maybe.
Dad.
I wonder if it was a relation. It might be. I don't know.
But
anyway, yeah. But anyway, I was surprised to see such a low-scoring game there. Number one, and number two, I was surprised that the Chiefs didn't pull ahead a little bit more as the game went on. Chargers went up 10-0 early, and then the Chiefs just kind of worked their way back and just methodically came back into that game.
The Chargers kind of fell apart after that. They came out. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing, though. The first drives and all are like designed.
Yes,
stuff. And they looked good in that, but then they just kind of lost it. And they've got health issues with quarterback, and that always makes a difference.
Yeah.
Stuff. But look, the Chiefs. This is not the Chiefs team that
Harris just popped one.
Yeah.
5-4.
Oh, there we go. Oh, let's get that rally going. Oh,
we're not allowed to do that anymore. The
hell we aren't.
I think it's funny how they
saw what happened. They said that, and we blew the playoffs. So now we do it again. Go to the game. I've been there. I went there last season. We do it.
Well, they still play the drums. They just don't do the chant anymore. They make the crowd do the chant now.
Well, yeah. But they never really did the chant. It was always the drums, and they had the electric tomahawks.
Yeah.
It was always the crowd that did the chant.
Yeah, but I think a lot of times they would have a speaker playing just to kind of get everybody to do it. But now everybody just does it on their own now. So, yeah, here we go. Top 8, 5-4.
You really haven't been to many Braves games. You don't need all the Braves just have to walk on the field, and we start doing that.
I hope
the media was the one who made us think about that. It was not Braves fans.
Oh, I know.
Every Braves fan I know was in protest of all of that BS. Like, no, that's our chant. That's what we're going to do. We do not care what anybody out of this state says.
Come on, Ozzy. Man, that guy's just not been the same since he came back from injury.
Looking at this week, I love this week. We're starting off with morning football. I love it. I know that there's people, especially on like the West Coast and maybe in the Mountain Time Zone, that it's not quite as thrilling because you're getting up before the sun. But here on the East Coast, football starts at the perfect time for a Sunday morning. It's great. Even when I was in Texas, I loved that because I was like, oh yeah, get up right out of bed, football game's on. Love it. All day football.
Ozzy just doesn't look right, man.
Well,
I think they rushed him back.
Yeah. He did it for the team. He's going to come back for the team. Ozzy's a player, man.
I love Ozzy. I love Ozzy. But anyway, and then the Bills, my Bills got smacked around by the Ravens. That was awesome. I loved seeing that.
Hey, Derrick Henry, and look, Adam and I both said this on here. RB1. I'm convinced of it. Beginning of the season, I was like, it's a very real possibility that he's the number one running back in the NFL this season. Oh, man.
Well, yeah, especially with as much as the Ravens run the ball.
Well, not just as much as they run the ball, it's as much as their quarterback runs the ball, opening it up more for the running back.
A lot of misdirection stuff.
Stuff. Oh, my gosh. This is the perfect fit for King Henry.
So, I'll tell you what. We were talking about the Browns being a mess. The Dolphins are a freaking mess.
But
dude, yeah, but come on, dude. You can't fall apart.
Handle it.
you can't fall apart that much just by losing your quarterback.
Because
they don't even look competitive. They don't even look competitive.
I would venture to say it is possible that as a whole, the Miami Dolphins have the worst quarterback room in the league. Tua is not. Look, nobody's like, yeah, I want Tua as my starter. He is a serviceable starter, and the way that team is built to play with speed and the players they have is what makes that offense tick. That's what makes it really hum. Sure. You know, they have zero depth at quarterback and just okay starting quarterback as it is. So, I mean, I did not expect him to. If he goes out, they don't look good. You need a quarterback like him in order to play the game that they want to play. It doesn't work with Skyler or who do they got now? Who's in there now? Heineke or somebody?
No, Tyler Huntley.
Huntley, that's it. Yeah.
Do you think, or I shouldn't say, do you think? Are you surprised they haven't made a move for somebody like Russell Wilson or something yet?
I think they need I hope that they've been calling freaking Fitzmagic every single day and been like, hey, look, let's work it out. Let's work it out, buddy. You know?
I mean, he could play in that offense.
Yeah, he definitely could. I am kind of surprised, but they brought in Tyler Huntley, didn't they? Was he on the Ravens practice squad?
He was on the Ravens practice squad, yeah. And he's a former Pro Bowl quarterback.
Yeah. So, I was a little surprised they didn't bring in somebody better or try to.
I am too. You know? I am too.
Not that there's a lot out there. That's the thing. Is there really? I mean, the backup quarterback market. You know, I mean, maybe.
Well, I mean, the Bills have Mike White on their practice squad, and the Dolphins had him as their backup last year. I'm surprised they didn't try to get him, pull him off the Bills practice squad.
Maybe call Dallas, see about Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush, that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean,
what about?
There's not an extreme level of backup QB talent in the
NFL. What about Tommy DeVito?
Huh? Oh yeah, that would be great.
Could you imagine DeVito and McDaniel together the way they look?
Yes. Oh my God, that would be awesome. That would be awesome, man.
Freaking McDaniel's looking like DeVito's like dealer.
Sopranos meets Miami Vice. Heck
yeah. But, I mean, it's crazy. So Olsen grounded out. So now we're going to the bottom of the 8th, 5-4. So we're going to be coming down to our final 3 outs here. There is still hope. There is still hope. I got to tell you one more game I want to recap from week 4 before we kind of touch on anything that might look interesting next week.
I'm about to touch on the pillow on my bed.
Well, yeah, me too. The Seahawks are for real, dude.
Oh, absolutely.
I did not think they were. I didn't think they were, but they are. They're for real. They hung right in there with the Lions. I did not see that coming.
Kenneth Skywalker, baby. Yes. Yes.
Let's touch up real.
That guy is a freaking beast, right? Did you see the play where he literally somersaulted over dude, never touched the ground with anything other than his hand, popped
Fantastic.
Up. I mean, the guy is an athlete, and that was coming off of an injury.
Fantastic.
We didn't know for sure if he was going to play that game until like Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, you're right.
And he's out there doing stuff like that, you know, against the best run defense just about in the league. That's the thing. They were ranked number 1 in run defense.
Okay, let's go week 5, and we're going to wrap things up here because, it is getting a little bit late. We're 10 after 11 here on the East Coast. So Falcons-Bucks should be a good one. Who do you got there?
I mean, so I wanted to be a good one, but it's Thursday night football. So
good point.
We'll see if it really is. But the way that the Bucks are playing right now, I got to give it to them. I'm going to be rooting for the Falcons probably because, I'm down here. But I think the Bucks are going to end up winning that.
I like the home team here on a short week, and I think the Falcons are playing pretty good ball as well. So I will oppose you, and I will say the Falcons here.
All right.
Do the Jets give the Vikings their first loss in London this week?
No.
No?
No. I don't think so. No, dude. This is revenge game too. Oh, yeah. No, Sam Darnold revenge game right here.
That's a good point. Aaron Rodgers
He's
also knows
it.
the Vikings pretty well, though.
Yeah, he doesn't know his Vikings.
That's true.
He doesn't know his Vikings.
Man, you know what? I don't know where to go with this game. For no reason at all, I'm going to take the Jets just because I think the Vikings are due for a stinker. And that's the only reason. So I'm going to take the Jets. Like I said, for no reason at all. Panthers, Bears, snore, snooze fest.
Panthers.
Yeah, I think the Panthers win here as well. They look like a much better team with Andy Dalton at the helm. Commanders keep it going against the Browns?
Yes, absolutely.
Does Jaden Daniels come down to
Washington, right?
It is in Washington. Does Jaden Daniels come down to earth a little bit here against the better defense, though?
No, I mean maybe a little. No, okay, from a fantasy perspective, no, he doesn't. He's still going to put up mad points.
Do you have him?
Do what?
Do you have him?
I do not. Trying to trade for him in one of my leagues though right now, where I have Caleb Williams and Deshaun Watson as my quarterbacks.
Well, I can see why you are.
yeah. You know, it doesn't seem to be working. I don't think that's a trade that's going to happen. The guy's got his other quarterbacks on bye this week, so I'm gonna have to wait till next week to try to get
there.
That
you go.
done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it might look not quite as good this week, but he's still going to get it done. You know, maybe throws a couple of picks, but he still carries that offense to a win.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do think I don't think he's going to have the impressive stat line he's had in the past, but I still think the Commanders pull out a win here. Dolphins, Patriots. Man, oh Jesus.
That's a really tough. I mean, this is the stinker of stinkers, right?
I mean, any other time you're going to say Dolphins win this game easily if they have a competent quarterback, but they just can't seem to find one. Does Huntley being on this team and practicing with them a little bit more, and maybe McDaniel seeing his play style, maybe he can help draw something up there? I don't know. Patriots defense is decent. Their offense just can't seem to help them at all.
I feel like New England might squeak this one out.
I'll tell you what, I think I like New England here as well. We already touched on the Colts and Jags. As much as you want the Colts to win, you're going to go with the Jags here just because of the streak, huh?
I do. I think that the Colts are going to win this.
Okay.
Just because we're a better team.
I agree. You are a better team.
Even though my man Defoe's still hurt, it'll be all right.
I don't take this, to slight at you or anything like that, but I do think the Jags at some point here are going to get things rolling a little bit, and I'll say they start it this week and go on a 3-game win streak here with the 2 games over in London. Bills Texans, there we go, the Stephon Diggs rematch. What do you got there?
I'm going to take Buffalo. Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
I'm still not sold on Houston. They haven't really played anybody, and
I don't.
The only team that was good that they played, they lost to. So
I don't think that. I'm sorry. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
I think Buffalo, coming off of what was an embarrassing loss, is gonna handle their business. We still don't know if Joe Mixon is going to play. If he does,
I heard he is, because I heard he was really, really close this week.
Yeah. So last week when he tested it out pre-game, and he was all set to go, and he went out and tested it, and he's like, that it just doesn't feel right. So out of precaution, they pulled him. So you'd think that he would be good. It's not official, though, that he's playing yet. He's still tagged as questionable. If he plays, though, he's not Derrick Henry, and I think Buffalo will focus more and is better against receivers than they are the run.
Yep.
And that's where Houston tends to be stronger is with their passing game. Buffalo can shut this down. I think they'll win this game. I think it'll be a good game, like 34-24 kind of a game. But I think Buffalo gets it.
I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I think there's going to be some dramatic stuff happening here. But I this team, I've watched the Bills basically my whole life. And this team under McDermott, when they come off of a loss, specifically a loss like this, they respond very well. They don't take to the and I think you're going to see a very inspired team. And I'll take the Bills to win here. But I think it's going to be a good game. The Texans are no slouch. So I do think it's going to be a good game, but I think the Bills win probably by like 6. Ravens Bengals. This is always a fun one, right? Ravens seem to be on a roll. Bengals can't seem to get out of their own way, barely sneaking over the Panthers last week. The Ravens keep it going in the jungle.
I do. I think being at home is going to help Cincy, and they'll keep it kind of close. But in the end, I do not see the Bengals as a team that right now is going to be able to stop that rushing attack.
I know it's not really gotten out in the public, but doesn't it seem like there's something internal going on in Cincinnati?
Something weird, because on paper, they should be a lot better than this.
Yep, agreed. Something is happening.
Really okay? Like, does he maybe have – is there a little permanent damage there? Or did he just need – and him and Chase have definitely over the past 2 games gotten a better connection together. But did he just need a little bit of time to shake off that injury still? Or I wonder if there's something wrong, you know? Like if that throwing arm is never going to be the same kind of a thing. Something seems off in Cincy for sure.
Another rivalry game, Raiders and Broncos. Not too much on the line here. I don't think we're going to see a playoff team out of either of these teams.
This is another sloppy game.
I'll take the Raiders. I think Antonio Pierce is really firing up the troops here, and I'll take the Raiders.
I'm going to go Denver on this one. Coaching alone here, I think that Denver has the better coach.
Yeah.
Neither of them have much offensively, but when you got a guy like Patrick Surtain out there, it's pretty hard for teams to do anything against you. So I'm gonna go with Denver on this one. Plus, it's in Denver, so
yeah, that definitely helps.
That 3 points that you get for being the home team, that might be the difference in this game. It might be 6-3.
16-13, I'll go. Niners Cardinals, another division game here. Niners getting a little bit healthier, seem to have found their stride again now. I think Niners take care of business.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think this will be a kind of a fun one if Arizona can put up some points. I mean, while the Niners offense has had, some injuries and stuff, their defense is still that damn good San Francisco 49ers defense. So I'm very interested to see how MHJ does on this one. Going up against a good defense, I want to see if him and Kyler Murray can make something happen. Keep working on that connection. But I definitely expect San Francisco to just wear them down and win this game.
Just another update here. We're in the top of the 9th. It's a 1-1 count. Jorge Soler is up. It's 5-4. And I will keep you updated here as we go through. We get to the next game, Giants and Seahawks. No big thing here. Giants just aren't very good. I mean, this is the Seahawks, right?
Yeah, right? It has to be, dude.
And it's in Seattle.
It has to be.
Yeah. How about Packers Rams?
All your Seahawks.
Yeah.
You have Seahawks on your roster in fantasy. Start them all. Maybe not Charbonnet, but start them all.
How about
Packers receivers? Start them.
How about Packers Rams in LA? I mean, the Rams really need this win to kind of save their season. Do they possibly sneak out a win over the Packers here?
I don't know. They are a mess right now. Like they are so one-dimensional right now that it is hard for me to see. Especially Love's got a game under his belt now, coming back from the injury. He progressively looked better through the course of that game.
Agreed.
As well. So I think Green Bay, they're going to take care of business.
Yeah, I think Green Bay wins here too. Yep. How about Cowboys Steelers? A couple times Super Bowl matchup repeats or rematches here. That's going to be a lot of fun. Jorge Soler with a fly out to center. Oh, that was a line drive too. What a catch! All right, down to 2 outs, Charles.
Cowboys, like the Cowboys in that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's in Pittsburgh, and that's the one thing that gives me hesitation. I think the Cowboys overall are a better team. Steelers have a better defense. I just feel like the Cowboys are going to make some stupid mistake that they shouldn't make. And for that reason, I will take Pittsburgh to win this game.
I feel like with Fields, the Cowboys defense is going to keep him rattled the whole game. And he's going to have I think this is going to be a game where you're going to see him maybe, put up some rushing numbers and even run one in for a touchdown, but he's also going to throw like 2 pick sixes.
So, I could see that happening. I mean, do we have controversy then?
I mean, here's the thing. Can you really have a controversy? I mean, they both suck. It's like trading one evil for another.
Oh,
and there's not even a controversy about it because they already have an out for Fields. Fields is starting because Wilson is hurt. You don't lose your starting position to injury. Isn't that the rule? Like,
don't use your Bledsoe?
Well, yeah, no, wait.
And then that's the Sunday night game. So that should be a lot of fun. I mean, I know there's big fan bases either way on those teams, so that'll be a lot of fun. It should be a pretty good viewership game, I would imagine. And then we have Monday night, which, I mean, looking at the schedule when the season came out, Saints Chiefs. I mean, everybody's taking the Chiefs here, right? Jeez. Well,
I don't know.
Here we go. I mean, the Saints look like a pretty darn good team. Now, they are going into Kansas City on Monday night, and that's going to be a pretty hostile environment on a Monday night. So with that being said, I will take the Chiefs to sneak this out, but I do not expect the Saints to go away easily in this one.
No, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a pretty good fight. Chiefs at home are really hard to beat. They did not look good against the Chargers.
Sure didn't.
No, and the Saints, I think it's going to be a pretty close game. I think the Chiefs, it will end up winning. I mean, is the NFL really going to allow the Chiefs to lose to the Saints at home on Monday night? And especially on a Monday night when we only have one game? Well,
right. Finally.
I'm loving the 2 games on Monday night.
Get out of here. I hate that.
Awesome.
I hate it.
Why? One game? Why do you hate?
I hate that they overlap. I hate that they overlap.
Do you hate 6 games at 1 o'clock on Sunday? What about 4 games at 4 o'clock on Sunday? Is that a problem?
I mean, no, because I'm accustomed to that. But okay, here's the thing.
This too. Think about it. When a game sucks, you have another option,
which is cool.
Which just happened.
Why doesn't
already?
What ESPN ought to do? They ought to take a page out of the Red Zone channel.
Yes.
Okay.
I already know where you're going with this.
Go to ESPN News or something like that.
ESPN 3.
Simulcast. Yes, and have them both on. Or go back and forth to whichever game has the most action going on at that time.
I was really surprised that they didn't do that.
Yep.
Like,
down to the last out, Charles.
Game starts.
Laureano grounded out the third. We're down to our last out. Travis Darno into pinch hit.
Wait, is Darno?
Mm-hmm.
Darno's a hero, man.
Here we go. It's a pop-up.
Oh, no.
It's a pop-up. Oh! The first baseman and catcher ran into each other, but he still caught it. Padres won. Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. So we got one more game of wild card baseball. The Mets and Brewers will finish their series tomorrow. Braves are officially eliminated. I cannot say I'm surprised. I saw that coming. Disappointed for sure. Of course, it's my team, but I saw it coming.
Yeah, I think we all did when we found out Sale wouldn't even be pitching in the playoff. Like, that was it. That was how we were going to win 2 games. So
yep. So we're gonna skip our 4 minutes on high tonight. I know you kind of already went off on yours. You were going to go off on Pete Rose not being in the Hall of Fame, and that's how we will end the show tonight. So everybody enjoy your sports week. We went pretty long here with just 2 of us. I'm kind of surprised.
I know, right?
So everybody enjoy your sports week, and till then, I guess we'll see you next week.
This shirt don't fit like it used to, and I need another notch on my belt. If you're looking for a 6-pack, muscled up kind of man, better look somewhere else. Yeah, I can stand to lose a few pounds, but for right now, I'm working on my dad bod. Oh my God, ain't gotta be hungry to eat. Hot dog, it's a full-time job, living good when you're with me. I like a cold beer with my pizza. I like my tacos and tequila. You only live once, so I do what I want, and I wanna keep working hard on my dad bod. Girl, what you need, I got it. Whatever kind of craving you have, you ain't gotta walk or look too far, 'cause baby, I'm your snack. Don't know if you heard, but you ain't the only one with curves. Yeah, I got a dad